Financial accounting. Accounts. Account master. In Account Master, you can add, update and delete information about account, and can also add and update account name, account type, P&L balance sheet group, and can enable sub-account support. Here you can see some default accounts provided. We can also set default currency, cost center support, etc. Opening balances. In opening balances, you can view and update debit or credit details of opening balance of your desired account. Previous year balance. Here you can view and update debit or credit details of previous year balance of your desired account. PLBS group names. Here you can add new functional expense accounts. You can update and delete the desired accounts apart from the default accounts provided. Transactions. Receipts. Here you can add and update new receipt. Give the further details and save it. Payments. In payments, you can add and update new payments. Give the further details and then save it. Journal voucher. We can add new vouchers here. Invoices. Here we can add new invoices and can update it. Credit invoice collection. Here you can add and update credit invoice collection details of the cash collectors. Payment receipt vouchers. Cash receipts. Multiple cash receipt entries are possible in this option. Cash payments. In cash payments, we can add multiple entries of cash payments. Bank receipts. Here we can add multiple bank receipt entry. Bank payments. Here we can add multiple bank payments entry. Debit notes. Preparation of debit notes and credit notes can be easily prepared here. Credit notes. Post-dated checks. Data entry. Data entries of post-dated checks are possible here. Deposit. Here we can show the post-dated checks to deposit. We can fix the alert dates, receipt from, deposit to, process document date, and can add the list of checks. Bounce. Here we can show post-dated checks to bounce. Can fix alert dates, receipt from, deposit to, then further details, and the list of checks can be added. Return. Here we can show the post-dated checks to return. Post-paid checks. Data entry. Here we can add the data entries of post-paid checks. Clear. We can show the post-paid checks to clear. We can set alert dates, receipt from, deposit to, and further details. Then we can add the list of checks. Return. Transaction Viewer. In Transaction Viewer, you can view and print your desired transaction. Reports, Listings, Charts of accounts. You can print or email all the information about accounts. You can convert it to Excel, Word and PDF. We can select the chart of accounts type, General Account, Ledger Account and All Accounts. Cash Book. All the information about desired cash book accounts can be shown here. Bank Book. All the information about desired bank book accounts can be shown here. Journal Register. Here we can display all the journal vouchers that have been passed in our desire. We can set the journal register type on the basis of date, voucher, account. Transaction Listing. Here we can show and export transactions as list on the basis of date, voucher number and account. Invoice Listing. Here we can show and export invoices as list of reports. Report type as summary and detail, date, invoice number, account. Credit Invoice Pending List. We can show the credit invoice pending list here on the current date of a particular account and also can enable show account codes. Accrued Voucher Listing. We can show accrued voucher listing as list of vouchers or journal vouchers. Receipt Listing. Here we can show the list of receipts on the basis of date, receipt number, debit account, credit account, receipt mode. Payments Listing. Here we can show the list of payments on the basis of date, payment number, debit account, etc. Ledgers and statements. General ledger. Here we can show the records of the general ledger. Account type, account code, period from and to, and we can also enable show uncleared checks, show running balance, show sub-account transactions. Accounts ledger. In accounts ledger, we can show all the desired accounts ledgers. Sub-account ledger. Here we can show the details of the sub-account ledger. Control account code. We can enable show uncleared checks and show running balance. Then sub-accounts trial balance. Here we can show the details of the sub-account trial balance. Control account code. We can select the report type. Account balance aging. Here we can set the account balance aging and can show the transaction details of the dates. Accounts analysis statement. Analysis of accounts in months on the basis of assets, liabilities, expense, etc. We can also enable the options given below. Statements of accounts. Desired statements of accounts can be obtained here. Enable currency. Having two options, default currency, other than default currency. We can select the account type. Then can enable the options given below and can give the company profile details. Cost centers. Cost center ledger. In cost center ledger, we can show the cost center ledger details. Enable the cost center type, then further details, then click show. Cost center account summary. Here we can show the account summary of the cost centers. give the further details, then click Show. Monthly Analysis. Here we can show the monthly analysis details of the cost center. Cost center budget comparison. Here we can show the budget comparison of the cost center on the basis of budgeting month and by selecting the month to compare. Add the further details, then click Show. Cost center budget monthly analysis. Here we can set and show the cost center budget monthly analysis. Cost center accounts budget comparison. Here we can show the cost center accounts budget comparison by selecting the cost center type and by giving the further details, then click Show. Cost center accounts budget monthly analysis. Here we can show the cost center accounts budget by analyzing it monthly. Check transactions. In check transactions, we can check the status of transactions, whether it is having an error. Budgeting. Budgeting table. In budgeting table, we can update the budget. Budget comparison. We can compare the budget on the basis of month and year. Budget expenditure. Here we can show the reports of the monthly budget and expenditure. We can select month and year and can enable the options given below, then click Show. Cost centers. In cost center, there are two default cost centers are given. When you enable the sub-cost center support, we can add sub-cost centers under this. Opening balances. Here we can show the opening balances of the cost centers on the basis of account. Previous year balance. Here we can show the previous year balance of the cost center. Cost center budgeting table. In this option, we can set the cost center budget. Cost center accounts budgeting table. Here we can set the budgeting table of the accounts in cost center. Setup. Change strings. Here we can change the strings of the cash payments and invoice posting setup. Global setup. Here we can update and enable the options given below if you want to add it to the financial accounting module. Account code setup. Here we can set the account codes level, and the updation is only possible when the account master is empty. Account book setup. In account book setup, we can update the account codes of the account and can update it. Profit loss group setup. In profit loss group setup, we can set the account class. Balance sheet group setup. Here we can set the code for the profit and loss account and can update the classes for the accounts. Invoice posting setup. In invoice posting setup, we can select the payment type and can update the account code for the cash payment, job costing and tax groups. Account variable setup. In account variable setup, we can enable the variable options given below, like maintain separate number for receipt and payments, maintain separate number for journal voucher, etc. Starting number setup. Here we can update the starting number of the descriptions given below. Report setup. Here you can update the report by selecting the report and can change the report format, language, and can update the format of reports as you desire. Notification setup. Here we can update the notification setup and can activate or deactivate the descriptions given below. Also can set the notification days period. Print setup. You can enable the options given below to auto-print in the reports. Cost Center Code Setup. Here we can set the cost center code. We can only update the cost center code when the cost center is empty. Accrued voucher setup. We can add the voucher name and can set the posting interval, start and end date, and also can add the debited and credited account below. We can also set the trigger mode for selecting when the voucher should be created.